Hello, Pastor Eddie here.
And Pastor Bola here.
Welcome to another episode of our 21 Disciplines for Success.
Yes. Really excited that you have been following these disciplines, and we are happy about all the feedback we've been getting. So thank you for sending them, and today promises to be another great one.
Yes. So if you love what you hear here, like we always say, make sure you share this, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and if you're on a blog, on our blog page, make sure you share this blog page and be a blessing to someone. Well, today we're going to be sharing a very important what will I call it, skill to have. You know, it's a very important discipline, and we are talking about the discipline of listening. we, believe it or not, we built an entire business on this particular discipline, the discipline of listening. Now, first of all, before we go in, let me just share with you how we built a very profitable business around the discipline of listening. Sometimes, you know, well, we used to, we still are, belong to part of a network marketing organization, and then people always complain that it's very difficult to grow a network marketing business. But the way we've gone about it is just by listening to people, and so we listen to people in the first 5 minutes, and from what they tell us, we are able to link them to the product that will be of benefit to them, and that was how we became top producers in our industry. All right, so today I want to share that discipline with you, and hopefully it will make an impact on you.
Yes. In addition to what Eddie said, is the fact that these days we have stress level very high, high technology, high stress level, high level of busyness, and very low level of listening.
Nobody has time.
And nobody has time to listen. And if you listen, when you choose to listen to someone, you are investing time in them. You are precious. You need to learn this discipline. It will pay you. I will tell you a story later as well. It will really pay you, both at work or at home, in your relationships or friendships. You will be a special person that would always be the main person everybody wants on their team because you listen.
Yeah, you know, people always gravitate towards those who listen to them. And that's because everybody wants to talk, but there are very few listeners in the world. Very few listeners. And if you practice this, right, it will go ahead to really improve, not just your well-being, actually, it will improve what I would call your influence, you know, in the marketplace. All right, so number one, where do we start from? Try to always be in the moment. Okay, always be present. Always be present, and I always rank this first because it means that you have control. All right. So always be present. Be present in the moment. Be present in your mind. Be present. Be present. Be present. Be present. In other words, you want to pay attention to everything coming out of the person speaking to you. It goes a long way.
It does go a long way. You know, there is a reason why we have 2 years and only one mouth.
Yeah.
And you know, many of us in this day and age, whenever you're listening to somebody, your head is actually calculating what to say next or what to do next or where to go next and so on and so forth. So I would always say maintain eye contact with the person that you're talking to if you're within the same environment. Even in this day of technology where all the talk happens on FaceTime and things like that, still maintain eye contact. You know what that does? The more you look at them, you're not just hearing what they are saying, you're also looking at their expression to understand their feelings, which they might not be able to convey with words, because communication is beyond words. So when you listen genuinely, you listen fully. And I would suggest maintaining eye contact.
You know, that's the downside to texting. So people don't want to talk to people these days.
Yeah, text does not have
I always say text doesn't have a voice, and so you can easily be misinterpreted when you just send a text, because there's the tone. The tone to a text, right, it's subject to whoever is reading that text.
Interpretation.
Yeah. So I always say text has no tone, you know. So if I send a text to you, I'm trusting that you will apply or interpret the tone, right, that I had in mind when I send that text, and that doesn't happen most of the time. So text always has the possibility of being misinterpreted. So always try to speak. Now, so secondly, also make sure that you pay attention, but relaxed. You know, you pay attention but relaxed. Always remember that the person speaking to you has something to offer you, right? They are offering something. And if you do not focus, if you do not pay attention, if you are not relaxed, you will miss out on the valuable information that they are offering to you, and not just from your own benefit, because they find you worthy. That's the reason why they are speaking to you.
Absolutely.
All right. So you want to treasure that relationship. You want to treasure what they are saying by being relaxed, pay attention, and being in the moment. Yeah.
You know, as Eddie said that point, I remember your story with the Scandinavians when you were working in the Scandinavians.
Yes,
You need to share that story with us.
I used to work in Finland. Was it Norway or Finland now? Let me see. One of these Scandinavian countries. I think it was in Norway. It was in Norway. Yes, I was working in Norway. And so you come to the office and I say, and I always go, hey, how are you?
How are you?
So I go, hey, how are you? And I just walk away. Hey, how are you? And I walk away. So one day the CEO called me and said, you know what? These guys, the entire department, they're not happy with you. I said, why? What have I done?
I'm good at what I do.
Yeah. He said, no, nothing. He said, because every time you come in, you are so you put on your smile, you have this energy or this happiness, this air of happiness around you. Then you ask them, how are they doing? How was your weekend? And then just before they answer you, you just walk away. So and I told them, I said, but it's just a rhetorical question. It's not like I really care. I really care. So I really care what it is over the weekend. Hey, how are you? It's just a rhetorical question. So I learned from that. Listen, hey, when you say how are you, pause to listen to what they have to say. And I started applying that. And so the good news is that I got my contract extended, and they were happy with me at the end of the day. So always pay attention, always listen.
The truth of the matter is, how are you has become a very valuable statement now.
Yeah.
And it's more than just a statement. When you say how are you, honestly, stop and listen. They will tell you fine to start with. Even in UK, even wherever you are watching this from, people's automatic answer to how are you is fine.
Yes.
If you stop again and you say, how are you really? Then somebody says, do you really want to know? And then they go into talking to you. So it's good to know how people are. But I would like to say something as well. Please don't judge. One of the reasons why people don't talk to other people is they think if you're trying to listen to them, you're judging them. Some of us that are very expressive, our faces are already saying, oh my goodness, you did what? And that's the end of them feeling that they can talk to you. So to be a great listener, don't judge.
Have an open mind,
Have a very open mind so you can hear every perspective. And I'd like to say something to you. The person talking to you is looking for either an empathy, sympathy, or encouragement, or learning point. If you've judged them before they finish the statement, they would withhold some information from you. Try and paint it in a certain way, and that's the end of conversation. So you have not really done anybody justice.
And that's very powerful. And so always make sure that you really listen to the words that they are saying and show interest. Show interest. So how do you now? One of the things I do to let my listeners to let people know that listening is to ask questions or interject with, oh really, how, why did you say that? And you know what they say? Yes. They say he who asks the questions controls the conversation. Yes. He who asks the question controls the conversation. So if I say, oh why did that happen? Oh, then it means I'm listening. Or how did that happen? Then it means I'm listening. So always make sure that you listen out for key moments, key words, and then ask questions around those key words. Listen, there is scarcity of listeners in the world. I'm telling you, if you practice the skill or the discipline of listening, you're going to become a prized possession, really.
Very true. Also, don't interrupt. If it's possible, have a listen and listen all the way through to the end. You don't know what could come on the back of that conversation. Don't interrupt us. You know what? I already have a solution for you. Like cut it short. I have a solution for you. Sometimes people are not even looking for a solution. They're just looking for a listener. So to be a great listener, that will be a prized possession that people will always come back to. Give them that time. Because that time actually is the gift. It's not so much the solution you have to offer. It's the time to listen to them that is the gift. And give the whole of yourself during that period. Yeah,
you want to make sure that you only speak when they pause. Although I also know that some people never.
Some people never pause.
Some people never pause. They never breathe when they are talking. Yeah, so make sure that you actually interject or interrupt only when they pause. And another key factor is that I want to recommend here is that make sure you don't multitask when you are listening. You know, personally, I find that very irritating. It just irritates me. You
At
know,
that point, all the ladies
yeah.
are thinking,
Yeah.
you know what?
You know when
I
it
will
is.
never do anything when XYZ calls me.
Yeah. I find it irritating. Can you imagine you having the conversation and then the next thing the person brings up their phone and they are checking their phone? And I'm thinking, what are we doing here? Am I wasting your time? So what's going on here? You know, so try to make sure that you don't multitask when someone is speaking to you. So it also means that, you know what, you have my undivided attention. Right? So don't multitask, keep the phone away, listen, and then ask questions. Yeah.
I always say this, if you think, you know what, I can only give 10 minutes, understand that, and you just say that ahead of time. Do you mind, can we talk for 10 minutes, or should I call you later? Because if they have things to do, I totally understand, because in your mind, if you're a lady, you're thinking, well, I already had 10 things before that person calls me crying. What am I supposed to do now? Drop all the things and just focus on this and wait for the next 1 hour for them to get to the point? You know, so I totally understand. You can also let them know, you know what, because it's really, really serious, you're crying right now, can we have 10 minutes conversation? So they know it's 10 minutes conversation. So you can, in quote, control the time, but know that all that 10 minutes you give to them fully.
All right, now let us flip the coin for 1 second here. If you are speaking to somebody and they are multitasking and they are not listening, or you perceive their eyes are, you know, wandering and they're not paying attention, what I always do is I stop talking. You know, so if I'm having a conversation with you and your eyes are wandering and you are looking at your phone and you know, I just pause. And the reason why I pause is that just to get your own attention. That okay, you're not paying attention. All right, so I'm pausing right now. But you're paying attention. All right, God bless you.
I was going to tell a story.
All right, share your story. Share your story.
I have to tell this story. You know, ages ago, we had a consulting firm, and we were doing all things IT. And one day we went visiting a friend. While we sat with his friends over dinner, the gentleman started talking about what he did in his organization and how he's the only one that could do it, and so on and so forth, and how, you know, it's just overwhelmed with work. And how the company would pay any amount for anybody to do it outside of the hours. But, you know, length and breadth of that story, from that conversation, just by listening, Eddie said, what if I can provide the service? What if I can hire you to provide the service through me? And that was how what we call a 6-figure income consultancy arm of our business happened that year, just by listening, a casual conversation over dinner. Question: what are you missing out by not listening? And what can you gain if you listen? Don't listen with the intention of gaining, but when you listen and you listen genuinely,
value
opportunities
people.
always
Yeah,
come.
always value people enough to listen to them intently and intentionally. Yeah. All right. God bless you. If you love what you've seen, what you've heard so far, make sure you share this. Be a good sport. Share this with someone. All right. Have a great day. The Lord bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Bye.